moving with a brand new plan. Put Tobago first again. Let progress start again. From Roxborough to Scarborough, we're building back our tomorrow. From Belgarden to Monaco, hope restored in one accord. And your mandates a stronger hand, putting Tobago first again. 10,000 jobs, a future bright. Homes for families, a better life. We kept the faith through every fight. Now the vision shining light. Hospitals standing proud and tall. Community centers for one and all. From fishing bays to farmers' hands, we gave new hope across the land. We're moving forward, not looking back. A new direction, right on track. A vibrant leader, bold and wise. With unfoldenness, watch us rise. A brand new team with heart and might to lead Tobago to the light. Stronger together, hand in hand, we're building on this sacred land. Put Tobago first again. Let progress start again. From Roxborough to Scarborough, we're building back our tomorrow. From Belgarden to Monaco, hope restored in one accord. Man, that's a stronger hand, putting Tobago first again. Yeah, 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 yeah. Putting Tobago first again. Putting Tobago first again. Yeah, 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 yeah. Put it your future, clean green plan, opportunities for every man. Investing in youth and sport, teams, agriculture, trade and pride. With unity standing side by side from coast to coast. Let freedom ring, it's PNM that Tobago brings. We stand united, red and proud. PNM voice is strong and loud. For every child, for every friend, this journey's just about to begin. So hand in hand across the plain, putting Tobago first again. Putting Tobago, put Tobago first again. Let progress start again. From Roxborough to Scarborough, we're building back our tomorrow. From Belgarden to Monaco, hope restored in one accord. A new mandate, a stronger hand, putting Tobago first again. Putting Tobago first again. Putting Tobago first again. Tobago rising even more. We faced the storm, we took the test. Now we're coming back with our very best. We built the schools, the roads, the ground. In every village, progress found. We learned, we grew, we took a stand. Now we're moving with a brand new plan. Put Tobago first again. Let progress start again. From Roxborough to Scarborough, we're building back our tomorrow. From Belgarden to Monaco, hope restored in one accord. A new mandate, a stronger hand, putting Tobago first again. 10,000 jobs, a future bright. Homes for families, a better life. We kept the faith through every fight. Now the vision shining light. Hospitals standing proud and tall. Community centers for one and all. From fishing bays to farmers' hands, we gave new hope. We're moving forward, not looking back. A new direction, right on track. A vibrant leader, bold and wise. With unfoldenness, watch us rise. A brand new team with heart and might to lead Tobago to the light. Stronger together, hand in hand, we're building on this sacred land. Put Tobago first again. Let progress start again. From Roxborough to Scarborough, we're building back our tomorrow. From Belgarden to Monaco, hope restored in one accord. A new mandate, a stronger hand, putting Tobago first again. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Putting Tobago first again. Putting Tobago first again. Yeah, 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 yeah. chasing sporting dreams. We're powering up our island teams. Agriculture, trade and pride with unity standing side by side from coast to coast. Let freedom ring, it's PNM that Tobago brings. We stand united, red and proud. PNM voices strong and loud for every child, for every friend. This journey's just about to begin. So hand in hand across the plain, putting Tobago first again. Putting Tobago, put Tobago first again. Let progress start again. From Roxborough to Scarborough, we're building back our tomorrow. From Belgarden to Monaco, hope restored in one accord. A new mandate, a stronger hand. Putting Tobago first again. Putting Tobago first again. in PNM on election day. Our future will be at stake if we only make a mistake. We vote in PNM on election day. Our plan is driven by education. We're working towards a stronger nation. On election day, protect your future. On election day, what is the answer? On track, we're not turning back. 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 We vote in PNM on election day. We vote in PNM on election day. Our vision 20 is clear. It's a mission to get you there. We vote in PNM on election day. Our social sector is working for you. Our infrastructure is improving too. On election day, protect your future. On election day, what is the answer? On track, we're not turning back. On track, we're not turning back. We took the test, now we're coming back with our very best. We build the schools, the roads, the ground.
Thank you very much. And thank you again for holding. This is the People's National Movement, taking our meeting, our crusade to every village, to the length and breadth of Tobago, and Bethel, New Grange, Susulands, and surroundings. Tonight is your night. We call it our Dancer Yard meeting, where you are here from this platform. You hear the truth, you hear the issues, and of course, a big, bold vision for Tobago. We are in support of all our candidates, but tonight, we are in support of Sterling Timothy and Ansel Dennis. As we get ready, I would like to call on Sister Ria to do the opening prayer first. So let us bow our heads as we get ready to pray.
Kind and Heavenly Father, we give you praise, we give you honor, we give you glory. Father God, as we continue to lift our eyes unto the hills from whence cometh our help cometh from the Lord which made heaven and earth. He said, those who know their God will do great exploits. And I pray today, oh God, you'll continue to guide us by your Spirit. You'll continue to give us wisdom from above, which is first pure and peaceable and gentle, easy to be entreated, full of mercy and of good fruit, without partiality, without hypocrisy. I pray, mighty God, tonight that you'll continue to cover us. You'll continue to protect us. Mighty God, you'll continue, oh God, Lord, to shine your light upon us as we go forth in your direction and your wisdom. And we thank you because our foundations is built on nothing else than Jesus Christ and righteousness. So, Father God, we give you all the honor and the glory and the praise in Jesus' name tonight. And everybody say, amen.
Thank you. We are ready. This is the PNM getting ready to bring our message to you. This is a platform where we tell you the issues. We are reminding you that your symbol is the Balize. You are to vote every PNM candidate in your area. We are saying that Tobago deserves better. And from this platform, wherever we go, we are saying that we are putting Tobago first again. So my friends, we're running a little late, so we want to get straight into the platform this evening. I want to recognize as he's on his way, the political leader, Brother Ansel Dennis.
PNM.
I want to recognize also the Vice Chairman of the Tobago Council, Brother Godwin Adams, and all the other executives. I said Godwin Adams, he's right in front of me. Brother Charles Adams, and other members of the executive. The General Secretary, Sister 𝐾𝐚𝐽 London. The minority leader, Brother Kelvin Morris.
PNM.
We have past and present, past members of the Assembly. We have Sister Nadine Stewart Lewis, Brother Godwin Adams, and others in our midst. And you are good people who have come out to hear us. We thank you for letting us in your homes. Tonight, we are ready to bring the issues to you again. My brothers and sisters, are you ready? My friends, we're getting ready. We are saying we are putting Tobago first again. And I want to get moving straight into, because to start off this evening, as we tell you, this election is serious business. And we are saying to make no mistake. You know where you are at this point in time. We are saying that we are not happy with the way this country has been run, this island has been run over the last 4 years. We are saying, my friends, wherever you go, there's a complaint and the place is too heavy. The contractors have not gotten any work to do. All the persons are the subcontractors, all those persons are complaining wherever you go. And we are saying, my friends, going forward, let us take a concerted effort to move this island forward by voting the People's National Movement.
PNM.
So to start off this evening, I want to bring on to address us, a vibrant young woman. I want to make some noise for the Tobago or PNM Youth League. Give the young people a lusty round of applause. Because she represents youth, she represents vibrancy, and she represents a strong, articulate woman coming to address us. She's the General Secretary of the People's National Movement Tobago Council. Very dynamic, great speaker. I want to introduce you this evening, Sister 𝐾𝐚𝐽 London, the General Secretary of the People's National Movement. Make some noise.
Good evening, PNM family. No, I'm not hearing earlier. Good evening, PNM family. Good evening, Susurlands. Good evening, Bethel. Good evening, New Grange. How are you feeling? I like the vibes. I am 𝐾𝐚𝐽 London. And I stand before you tonight as a young person who refuses to inherit a broken promise. For 4 years, Bethel and New Grange has been fed a diet of sweet talk and sold dreams of advancement and progress. But what have we seen? The only benefit, the only progress that we have seen has been the close friends and relatives of the current administration. As a young person, I stand here in a place of uncertainty when I observe the many challenges seeping into our beloved island. These are not minor issues. These are significant obstacles placed directly in the path of the development of every young Tobagonian. We have seen a systematic dismantling of all the necessary support systems tied to our developmental and sustainable goals. Let me make this clear tonight. I am here to declare that what I have seen can only be described as a war on the lifeblood of this island's future, a war on education. When I see fellow young people losing their educational funding in the middle of a semester, having to be lodged by friends who are really strangers because there is no place like home. When this administration shuts down the policy of support for developing bright minds, I say, reject them and run them. A war on opportunity. When I look at the systematic dismantling of youth-centered programs and our sporting facilities are disintegrating, making it impossible for activities that generate opportunities to be discovered based on sporting discipline and preference, I say reject them and run them. A war on sovereignty. When I see this administration promising greater autonomy for Tobago, which means more opportunities for the youth, and then it turns around and sells our sovereignty for 30 pieces of silver, empowering others to capitalize on our resources, I say reject them and run them. A war on integrity. When I see a total negligence of duty by those vested with the responsibility to encourage growth, but instead they rape the public purse, ignore basic provisions, and beat their chest as if to boast in their own inadequacies, I say reject them and run them. Bethel New Grange, what we have to understand is that what drives opportunities and policies that position, what we have to understand is that what drive opportunities are policies that position our future development. The administration we are fighting has chosen to dismantle all of these policies, but we have a choice. We must see through their blur and fluff and choose solid leadership, historical delivery, and a progressive vision that respects the dignity of every Tobagonian. That vision, that leadership, and that commitment to sustainable development is found in the People's National Movement and your future era representative, Mr. Sterling Timothy.
PNM.
The PNM is growing, living, and it will continue to serve the people of Tobago with dignity and resilience. We have a plan to end the war on our future. We will focus on guaranteed opportunities, reinstating and expanding reliable educational funding, not as a favor, but as an investment protected by policy, ensuring that no student is abandoned mid-semester again. Community restoration, immediately restoring our sporting facilities and community centers, turning every neglected area into a vibrant hub where our young people can safely discover and hone their talents. Real autonomy, fighting for an autonomy that empowers Tobagonians to capitalize on their own resources, ensuring that the wealth and opportunities generated on this island benefits our youth and not external interests. Friends, this evening, before I leave this platform, I want to cement this most salient point. What you choose on January 12th will affect every aspect of your development and your opportunities. Let me repeat that again. What you choose on January 12th will affect every aspect of your development, my development, and our opportunities. What was chosen on December 6th, 2021 has provided us with more than sufficient glance into a future of lack of vision, poor governance, and mismanagement, all connected to the simple task of a dip of a finger. Let us not make the same ill-informed choice of 2021. On January 12th, vote for Sterling Timothy. A vote for Sterling Timothy is a vote for solid leadership, historical delivery, and a progressive vision. Get your friends on board with a movement that understands what it takes to have sustainable development. So much so that the opposition keeps implementing things that we have developed and keeps changing the names and trying to claim them. We are a party of dignity, and we are a party of resilience. We are a party of Tobago's future. So when you dip your finger on election day, dip your finger for advancement, dip your finger for vision, dip your finger for your own future, dip your finger for Sterling Timothy and all the other candidates in those 15 electoral districts. And only then will we all sing and shout, great is the PNM, great is the PNM, great is Tobago, and we have prevailed. I thank you.
PNM.
Let progress start again. From Roxborough to Scarborough, we're building back our tomorrow. From Bell Garden to one accord, hope restored in one accord. And your mandates a stronger hand, putting Tobago first again. 10,000 jobs, a future bright. Homes for families, a better life. We kept the faith through every fight. Now the vision shining light. Hospitals standing proud and tall. Community centers for one and all. From fishing bays to farmers' hands, we gave new hope across the land. We're moving forward, not looking back. A new direction, right on track. A vibrant leader, bold and wise, with unfoldenness, watch us rise.
Bethel, New Grange, and surroundings. Make some noise for Sister 𝐾𝐚𝐽, London, powerful youth voice. Dip your finger for the PNM. Dip your finger for progress. Dip your finger for Ansel Dennis. Dip your finger for Sterling Timothy. Put in Tobago first again. We want to get this thing moving. My friends, I see a man from Mason Hall in the area. So I want to call him before the minority leader. Because we have to ensure that we make all of us aware that we have to put Tobago first again. At every turn, we have to get the message out. Because, you know, today, my friend in the airport called me and said, listen, I see a big plane just land. I said, what's going on, girl? She said, yes. And I'm worried. All of us must be concerned about what is taking place in our island. And if you are concerned as much as I am, you're going to put Tobago first again and vote the People's National Movement.
PNM.
I want to call 𝐾𝐚𝐽𝐶. I want to call on stage a man in the back somewhere. Right, I see him now. But 𝐾𝐚𝐽𝐶, a powerful PNM voice, a man who delivered as the Secretary of Works, a man who transformed the quarry. Right now, you have to wait 2 and 3 days to get stuff in the quarry. This 𝐾𝐚𝐽𝐶 transform the quarry, transform works and URP. My friends, now everything turned to old mass. 𝐾𝐚𝐽𝐶, make some noise as we bring on brother 𝐾𝐚𝐽𝐶, Vivian.
PNM.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? You can't go war, you can choose. Lord God Almighty. Are you ready, soldier? Hey! Where the soldiers at there? Are you covered under the blood? Here we go. Say, if your hands are anointed, and if your feet are anointed, and if you're under the blood,
PNM.
give me a Holy Ghost shout. If your hands are anointed, and if your feet are anointed, and if you're under the blood, give me a Holy Ghost shout. Say, if your hands are anointed, and if your feet are anointed, and if you're
under the blood, under the blood, under the blood. Oh, I am anointed.
Pull that one up for me, please, DJ. PNM people. I said PNM people. Like all didn't hear me clearly. Children of God. PNM. Good evening to you. I say if you're anointed, if your hands are anointed and your feet are anointed, if you're under the blood, I want to give you us a Holy Ghost shout right now. Make some noise. I want them to hear you from all corners of Tobago. I want them to hear us all the way up in Bethel, hear us in New Grange, the top of Susulans, in Bucko Point, in the end of Mount Pleasant. You make some noise. PNM. Let me specially recognize at this time our chairman, Mr. Larry Paul. You put your hands together for Mr. Paul, a true stalwart, a true soldier of the People's National Movement, a true soldier of the people. I would like to recognize Mr. 𝐃𝐚𝐽, our previous speaker, and the General Secretary. Of course, the political leader, Mr. Ansel K. Dennis. You make some noise for him. I'm seeing many candidates here tonight to give support to the man, the big dog, Mr. Sterling Timothy. I'm seeing here Mr. Dexter Miller. You put your hands together for Mr. Miller, please. I'm seeing Mr. Dominic Kerr. You make some noise for Dominic Kerr. I'm seeing the man harvest God, Mr. Kevin Osford. I see in the back there, Mr. Akil Guy. You put your hands together for Akil. Of course, Mr. One is Enough, our minority leader, Mr. Kelvin Morris. You make some noise. At the same time, make some noise because she's on her way, Miss Karen Forbes. She mashed up Black Rock last night. Put your hands together for Mr. Brian Harris from Patience Hill, Signal Hill. PNM. Mr. Maxon Roberts, he think he hiding, but I see him in the back there. You put your hands together for Maxon, the man to bring down Farley. Miss Shanae John, she look up, but she tell her all the way up in Roxborough. Make some noise for Shanae. The ever hard working, the energetic. I never see a candidate work hard so yet. Miss Kamisha Backus, you put your hands together for Kamisha. PNM. And I see there the hard-working councillor, the minority councillor. You all think she quiet, but that lady full of fire. Put your hands together for Mrs. Petal Benoit. PNM. Listen, PNM people. Listen, people of Mount Pleasant, Susulans. There's one more person I would like to recognize tonight. There's one more person before I move forward tonight. I would like to recognize, by the way, I see with us here Ms. Nadine Stewart Phillips. You put your hands together. You dig. And all other former members of the assembly, Mr. Huey Cadet there in the back. You put your hands together because we recognize that the PNM has 21 years of stewardship. 21 years of people who work hard. And we cannot be ashamed about that. And so I thank everyone tonight for coming out. I thank all of you for showing support. I thank each and every person for your continued dedication to what is good. And I think it would be remiss of me if I did not recognize on this platform my wife, Mrs. Devines, who is here with us tonight. I told you all I was going to be a Mr. Devines. And I sealed the deal on Sunday. So you all put your hands together for Mrs. Devines, who is here tonight. Promise kept, promise delivered. True PNM style. PNM. But you see, people are accustomed to me being fiery. People are accustomed to me coming out and bringing the war. But tonight I want to have a conversation because you see, there are some people to talk after me who fiery on their own. Be ready for them. After you don't tell them to ride out, I don't know I can be more fiery than that. So I want to leave some platform for Kelvin and for Big Dog and for Ansel. But tonight, please allow me to have a conversation with you. Because someone said to me today, Kwesi, the people who are wearing the jerseys are important, but they don't win the election. He said the ones who win the elections are the sufferers, those who are suffering. And right now in Tobago, there are many people who are suffering. I am very sure, and I'm not exaggerating, that some one of you here tonight, and I'm speaking to the ones who are viewing now, and the trolls who are viewing to see what the PNM says so they can say it on a platform tomorrow night. I'm sure some of you know somebody who was victimized by this administration. I am sure some of you, every last one of you as that matter, know somebody who was sent home by this administration. I am sure some of you know of someone who is afraid to show support to the PNM tonight because they are afraid that they will get their throat bust tomorrow. I am sure that there are many of you who know somebody who wishes they could get a food card or some kind of assistance, but they have been told no because you see them in a red jersey before. I'm sure you know somebody like that. Because you see, they don't like when we say it, but this administration has practiced the most amount of wickedness that we have ever seen in this land. You see, the PNM was in office from 2001 to 2021. In that time, you had the NAR, you had the Tough Duck, you had the DAC, you had the Platform of Truth, you had Tobago Forward, you had PEP, you had all kind of party, PDP, TPP, toilet paper, not toilet paper. You had Blue Party, Red Party, well, they never like red, they like that Green Party, that Yellow Party, that Purple Party, that Black Party. They're going back with Blue again. Tobago People Partnership, because it's a new name. And I'm saying, under the PNM, anybody could associate with anybody. Under the PNM, come election time, the PNM ran not on fear. The PNM ran not on victimization, but we ran on performance. Because we could have stood up loud and proud, standing on 10 toes and say, listen, we delivered. Give us an opportunity to continue the good work that we have started. I heard they said, well, you can't compare 21 years to 4 years. So they say, let's go back to the first 4 years. When we started to list out achievements in the first 4 years, they say, all right, let's go back to the last 4 years. When we started to list out more achievements, they say, all right. So I see somebody come today and say, well, give it between 2010 and 2014. But no matter what term of office they come up with, they cannot compare. The PNM delivered time and time again. A gentleman from Trinidad said he was in an argument. He said, well, here, what to do? Go to Tobago, whether it's by plane or boat. He said, go in the middle of Scarborough, pick up a big stone, and pelt at anything, and whatever he touch, bet your bottom dollar PNM build that. You go down in Pigeon Point, in 2003, PNM buy that. You go in Mason Hall, the secondary school, the primary school, PNM build that. You go to any housing scheme, PNM build that. PNM. Any community center, PNM build that. You go right there in Mount Pleasant, in the new pavilion, PNM build that. You go anywhere, any fishing facility, PNM build that. PNM. You go in Boku by the integrated facility, PNM build that. You go in Roxborough by the new hospital, PNM build that. You go to the administrative complex over the road, PNM You go to the very short park where all of them line up to see if they're going to get picked to be screened. PNM, bill, tax. PNM. But they want to tell you that the PNM do nothing for 21 years. Well, if we PNM do nothing, then tell Farley and Faith and Zorisha and every last one of them, give me back the money that PNM give you to go to school, because like you're wasting it. Because common sense not before book sense. And anybody with common sense can tell you that the PNM has delivered for the people of Tobago. But you see, they want to find an excuse. All of a sudden, everybody say, well, I was at OJT for 4 years, so now I know the work, so give me another chance. Imagine if you line up by KFC people. You line up in a long line to buy some chicken. You're hungry, your belly biting you, and you say, I want a 3-piece, hot and spicy. I want 2 portions of fries to go with that. You pay your money, your hard-earned dollars, and you take up your box of chicken, or what you thought was a box of chicken, and you go home. You sit down to cook up your foot and eat the chicken. And when you open the box, it's nothing inside the box. Absolutely nothing. That is what happened in December 2021. Tobago people decided to give a chance. They went to the polling station, they lined up, and they said, we're going to vote for these people who said they're going to fix it. And we get a box, we get cat in bag, because they say that they're going to fix it, and we carry it home. We believe the promises. We say that blue is the code. They say when UNC win, everybody go win. They say we go get 10%. They say they go free up the treasury. They say they go remove, they go make it easier on drivers. They say they go fix it. Ask what they fix in 4 years. Some people fix the house, it's big wall in front of the house. Some people fix the road by the mother house. Some people doing the most. But I could tell you, in the meantime, when they're fixing themselves, you are the ones suffering. Because they have taken pride in destroying Tobago businesses. They have boasted that they run people bankrupt. They have boasted that they have destroyed families. In the meantime, we here left to suffer. And now they want to run up and down like wild ants. And they're giving out all kind of hamper, all kind of bicycle. They want to have big festival because they say Tobago is we. For the last 4 years, when Tobago was all there, on January the 12th, remind them that Tobago is we own for true. And remind them by putting the X by the Balize. Remind them by voting for Sterling Timothy. Remind them by voting for Ansel K. Dennis. Remind them by voting for Kelvin Morris. Remind them by voting for the PNM in all 15 electoral districts. Because Tobagonians, the time to stop the suffering is here. They had 4 years, they gallivant themselves. They had 4 years, they fly up and down the place. They had 4 years, they give you all kind of nothing and empty promises. They had 4 years and did nothing with it. On January the 12th, you know, some people say, Kwesi, don't worry, no. A man even tell me, Kwesi, don't even let PNM campaign again. Let's be quiet and wait. On January the 12th, we will talk with our finger. Everybody show me that finger. Everybody show me that finger, because you see that finger will end the suffering. You see that finger will save URP and CPEP. You see that finger will end 10 on and 10 off. You see that finger, it will mean true development in Tobago. You see that finger, it will end victimization. You see that finger, it will mean Tobago contractors will live again. You see that finger, it means that there will be support for you again. You see that finger, it means that it will be the end of the Tobago People's Partnership. It will be the end of disrespectful Farley. It will be the end of the corruption that we have never seen before. It will be the end of the time wasting. It will be the end of everything that has gone wrong in Tobago. Because on January the 12th, we will set it right. We will right the ship. And you see the talk about we bringing a boatload of people for the launch. The afraid. Because PNM people ain't cussing nobody on Facebook. PNM people ain't going on TikTok and claiming to be no boss. PNM people know what to do. We have order. We have sense. And we know that on January the 12th, in order to save Tobago for the next generation, there's only one choice that we have. Everybody say, one choice. Everybody say, and you see that choice is the People's National Movement. Because anchor could rust because it's iron, but they cut down the balize, and it shall grow back and grow back in glory. They think we're dead. They think they had us wounded. We might be walking with a limp, but we're standing here on the strength of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. We rebuke the talk about Satan and his children. We rebuke that in Jesus' name. And on January the 12th, we shall rebuke the Tobago People's Partnership. We shall rebuke Farley and his miscreants. We shall rebuke all of the evil that was done to Tobagonians. And we shall vote resoundingly for the People's National Movement. PNM. But I don't want to take any more time on this platform. I've spent enough time already. I want you all to help me to introduce a man who demonstrated that one is enough. A man who stood proud and stood tall and exposed the truth. A man who exposed the corruption. The man who exposed the ambulance hiding in the bush. The man who exposed Namalco asphalt plant in the quarry. The man who exposed all of the corruption in this assembly. The man who exposed and sent a particular candidate in this election to the Integrity Commission and to the Office of the Procurement Regulator. I want you to help me to introduce. I want you to make some noise. I want you to stand and recognize a true soldier. Mr. Kelvin Morris. You put your hands together for
the
Kelvin.
moment that I wake up until I lay my head, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. 'Cause all my life you have been faithful.
PNM.
And all my life you have been so good. With every breath that I am able, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. I love your voice.
Sing with me, PNM family.
You have led me through the fire in darkest night. You are close like no other. I've known you as a father. I've known you as a friend. And I have lived in the goodness of God.
PNM.
Hallelujah. Bethany, Susterlands, Bethel, New Grange, Mount Pleasant, Buku. Good night, PNM family. PNM family here tonight and viewing. Special good night. Permit me to recognize our political leader in his absence and the next Chief Secretary of the Tobago House of Assembly, Brother Ansel Dennis. Permit me to specially recognize a man I can proudly welcome to the club of the married men in this People's National Movement team, Brother Kwesi Devines.
Permit me to also recognize our other standard bearers amongst us, former PNM candidates, former PNM representatives, secretaries, assembly members, members of parliament, PNM Executive Council members, our chairman, Brother Larry Paul, and all other executive members, and my PNM family, children of God all. Good night to the residents of Bethel, New Grange, Susselands, and Bethany.
PNM.
Tonight, brothers and sisters, you know, I'm always pleased to grace a PNM platform. Because you see, on this platform, as you would have heard from Miss Akisi London, and you would have heard from Kwesi Devines, and you would have heard over the number of days and weeks we have been talking to you. What you hear are clear policies and programs to develop the lives of Tobagonians. Because we understand that you are overburdened with 4 years of failure. You have been overburdened with 4 years of failed promises. And therefore, we are focused in ensuring that we provide you with the policies and the programs that would ensure that we put you here in Tobago first again. But brothers and sisters, while I endorse our candidate, Brother Sterling, Big Dog, Timothy, and we offer this young man, a young man who understands the young people in this electoral district, a young man who you can call upon in good times and in bad, a young man that will make your problems his problems and ensure that they are solved, a young man who will listen to you, a young man who will walk with you, a young man that will stay true to you and will ensure that he develops the community, not just in Bethel, not just in Bethany, not just in Susselands, not just in New Grange, but across the length and breadth of Tobago. And therefore, I want to talk to you today on a very serious matter that is affecting the lives of Tobago. I want to read to you our headlines coming from the New York Times. And when Tobago and Trinidad and Tobago is being mentioned in the New York Times, you know we are talking about serious business. And this headline says that as U.S. threatens Maduro, a Caribbean nation is drawn into the conflict. I want to repeat that again. As the U.S. threatens Maduro, a Caribbean nation is drawn into the conflict. And PNM family tonight, do you know which Caribbean country they are referring to? That Caribbean country that the New York Times is referring to is our loving, peaceful, united, tranquil little island called Tobago. And I want us to understand that this threat is not an ordinary threat. Because if you understand what we are up against, our government told us that they facilitated the installation of a military radar to fight narcotics. But what this article is actually saying to us is that the investigation by one Francis Robles details the radar installation, the broader U.S. military buildup, and the strategic consequences now facing Tobago, including the fact that this equipment is designed for air and missile warfare and not drug interdiction. So I want to repeat that. In this investigative journalistic report, it is saying that the radar that was installed is really installed and designed for air and missile warfare and not drug interdiction as we were first told. So what this really means, brothers and sisters, by the actions of Kamla Persad Bissessa, aided and facilitated by our own Chief Secretary Farley Chavez Augustine, they have now made our peaceful island Tobago a war zone. And because they have made Tobago a war zone, we are now, our very lives are at stake. Our very lives are at stake, brothers and sisters. And because our very lives are at stake, I want you to understand that this is no longer a joking matter. Because I can tell you, I was having discussions with the tourism stakeholders. And what I have learned is that in the cruise industry, already 2 cruise ships, they have canceled their sailing to Tobago. And what that means, we have lost over 1,500 passengers coming to Tobago because of the presence of this radar and the current US military buildup. And more than that, when you talk to the hoteliers, they are saying they have lost hundreds of bookings coming from the international market because tourists are saying they are no longer interested in coming here because they are afraid of their life, for their lives, because they are of the opinion that at some point war is imminent in this island. So on top of all that is happening, today you would have seen coming to this island a warplane. And that warplane that landed came on the heels of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs telling us yesterday that they have granted access to the United States military to use our airports as a transit point for military intervention and military conflict in Venezuela. And when the Chief Secretary was asked by the media, are you concerned for the people of Tobago? You know what your Chief Secretary said? No. And when they asked him, so aren't you worried that this might pose a threat to the lives of Tobagonians? The Chief Secretary again said no. And brothers and sisters, I am saying tonight that without fear of contradiction, our Chief Secretary has lost his voice. This Chief Secretary was once very boisterous, but he has become like the great Christmas carol, Silent Night. All you are getting from this Chief Secretary is silence, and when you ask him a little bit more, he never knows. So he didn't know when the first plane came, and when they asked him about this current situation, well, he said he didn't know that until he saw the press release like everybody else. And I'm saying to you, just think about it. Was this our former Tobago boy, our own Prime Minister, Dr. Rowley? If this was happening under Dr. Rowley, a PNM government, do you think the Chief Secretary would have accepted this? Could you imagine Dr. Rowley bringing warplanes to Tobago and not having a conversation with the Chief Secretary and he's simply saying that he's fine? So, brothers and sisters, we have a Chief Secretary that is playing games with the lives of Tobagonians. This is no longer a political matter. This is a matter that really involves each and every resident of Tobago. Because if God forbids, just think about the location of that radar. Wherever you have a radar, in any kind of military conflict and escalation, it becomes prime target and it becomes fair game for any of the persons involved. And when you look at what is happening with Venezuela and the US, every time the US takes some kind of action against Venezuela, do you hear them talking about dealing with the US? Who do they usually point to? It's always a reference to Trinidad and Tobago. So if the US, let's say, take action and for some reason intervene, bomb Venezuela, who do you think Venezuela is going to retaliate on? And if, God forbid, they retaliate and send a missile to that radar that is down at Crown Point, which also houses all our oil, in terms of where all the oil is stored, all the fuel is stored. Just imagine if a bomb is to hit that. I want you to think about it, Tobagonians. Then crapo, smoke, all our pipe. And this is why I am so passionate as a Tobagonian on this issue, because this issue transcends politics. If the bomb comes, it does not see red. If it comes, it does not see blue. If it comes, it does not see black. All that would be left is basically the lives of Tobagonians that will be at risk. And that is why I'm calling on all of us tonight to stand up and reject this current arrangement of radar and military buildup on our island, because when the smoke clears, it is we who will have to pick up. Because think about it, tourism is our very way of life. And if something is to happen that tarnishes our safety and our security, do you think anyone would want to come in a war zone? Will you go to Gaza? Will you go to Afghanistan? Will you go to Iraq? And therefore, this is why the PNM's position has always been that the Caribbean should be maintained as a zone of peace. And I'm calling on Kamla, Prasad, Bisesa, and Farley, Chavez, Augustine to come clean with the people of both Tobago and Trinidad and let us know what is the real deal. Because as we speak, as one military plane comes, another leaves. One left A&R Robinson this afternoon, and as one left, one arrived at Piaco. And they are just dropping off stuff. We don't know what they are dropping off. We don't know who they're dropping off. And therefore, the secrecy has to stop. And they need to come clean with us tonight. So, brothers and sisters, we have a chief secretary that has abandoned you, the people of Tobago. And I'm saying because this chief secretary has abandoned us, I am calling on all of Tobago on January the 12th to tell this chief secretary his time is up. It is time for him to ride out.
PNM.
Brothers and sisters, you know, I heard the current chief secretary, and you know he's good at playing mind games. He's good at manipulating and changing the narrative. And because he has a number of questions to answer, he's now telling us here in Tobago that the reason why our contractors couldn't get any jobs is because they were corrupt, and for some reason he has issued them pre-action protocol letter since January. But he was so kind-hearted, so he was giving them time to respond. You hear lie? That is lie. And I want to jog your memory because we have seen that playbook before. You will recall on the cusp of the last election, one of the real all the way into the office of chief secretary was that thing called the zip line. And you will recall that he waved a brown file and he told all of Tobago that he had the evidence to prove that the former political leader of the PNM was complicit in some bid rigging and collusion to defraud the country with respect to this zip line. Well, that matter went to the court. And when that matter went and he provided his so-called evidence, both the court, the High Court of Trinidad and Tobago, and the High Court in the British Virgin Islands said to this Chief Secretary, your evidence is incredulous. And what incredulous means, my brothers and sisters, is that your evidence is not believable. In fact, they said it was really a figment of his imagination. And therefore, what that means is that Chief Secretary lied his way to get into office. And having lied his way to get into office one time, he's coming again to you, fellow Tobagonians, to lie his way again, to tell you that your Tobago contractors are corrupt. And what makes it even worse, you will recall when he brought the audit report, and he told us in the preliminary audit, when he gets the full audit, he will make it public, and all of us will have an opportunity to see what the contents are. We asked him at the legislature for the audit. He refused. We then filed an FOIA. He still refused. And up to today, the only person outside of the Chief Secretary who purports to have that audit report is his partners in Trinidad, a fellow by the name of Saddam Hussein. So imagine Tobagonians who paid for the audit report can't get a view of it, but his UNC financiers in Trinidad, they have the audit report. But the reason why he cannot show us the audit report, brothers and sisters, is because two of those contractors took him to court. And those two contractors won those matters because what was entailed in the audit report does not implicate the contractors in any way. So I'm saying to Tobagonians, reject any attempt by Farley Chavez Augustine to change the narrative and tell you your contractors are corrupt. As a matter of fact, while he's telling you your Tobago contractors are corrupt, Mr. Farley Chavez Augustine is giving work to some contractors from Trinidad whose name is involved in multiple corruption scandals right in Trinidad. And tonight, I want to draw your attention to one more of those contractors and the affiliation, because you may have heard about an early childhood center at Corlan, which was given in the dead of the night. We asked about that contract. The Secretary of Education had a lot to say, because she knew that we know there was something sinister about that contract. And so we asked the question, and we learned that that contract was given to a Trinidad-based company. Imagine, an early childhood center where you're basically just doing brick and mortar, some doors and some windows for $7 million. And out of 10 contractors that bid, 5 of them being Tobagonians, they couldn't find one Tobagonian who could have built that early childhood center. But they found a contractor all the way in Cuba called One Source. Let me give you the name. Let me get the name for you all. One Source Contracting. I want to get the name correct. So the name of the contractor was One Source Maintenance Construction Company Limited. And the directors of that company, the last set of directors of that company was, and I will call the names for you, Miss Seema Simongal, address 77 Puna Road, Williamsville, Trinidad and Tobago. Miss Jennifer Dionorine Samdio, 20 Carlos Street, Melnaton, Couva, Trinidad. Cindy Sicharan, 58 Calcutta Road, McBean Village, Couva. And what is interesting about this last name, Cindy Sicharan, two things stand out to me. There's a company that is enjoying the largest in Tobago. I call him Farley's Blue Eye Boy. And that company is a company by the name of California Stucco. And you will recall they got a contract in 24 hours to build the Smithfield to Dutchford Connector Road, where they sent in a bid today, they got the award the next day, and by the next day, they had all their machines mobilized to break down Scarborough RC fence to start to build the road. And the gentleman, the principal of that company, is one Charles 𝐶. So I'm simply asking, because I don't know the affiliation, whether Cindy 𝐶 is in some way related to the same gentleman, Charles 𝐶. I do not know. I'm simply asking out loud. But secondly, this Cindy 𝐶, there's an article with this same one Cindy 𝐶, and the article is headlined, SIS. You remember SIS? The company that built the Bethel wastewater treatment and had to flee Trinidad and Tobago because of issues of corruption. Well, this SIS hired a firm with close links to test water at Bethel. And I'll read a little snippet from that, and you will hear a familiar name. According to company registration documents sourced by the Sunday Guardian, Civil Laboratory and Consultants was registered back in 2007 by one Cindy 𝐶, who gave her address as 23 Rivulet Road, Couva. So brothers and sisters, while Farley is telling you about your contractors being corrupt, what this appears on the face of it is that this one source company is closely affiliated by way of Cindy 𝐶 to the very corrupt SIS group of companies. And therefore, you have to now ask yourself, not only is Tobago money being siphoned away to Trinidad, but it appears our money is being siphoned to contractors who have questions to answer to the state. So while you have Orlando Kerr saying that they have given 99% of the contracts to Tobagonians, brothers and sisters, they really feel with Dotishina. You hear lie? That is lie. Because, and as I close, because I want to rungs up, if Tobago contractors got 99% of the work, then how come they had a emergency road program where they gave out $300 million in road works? And you know what? Every contractor, all 4 of those contractors came from Trinidad. So how could you give out 99% of contracts to Tobagonians when you gave out $300 million and not one of them was from Tobago? And I'm challenging this administration tonight to bring a list and show us where I'm giving them 10 spaces to show me and name 10 Tobago contractors that were awarded contracts exceeding $10 million. Because you see, what they have been doing is giving their Trinidad-based contractors the ham, the lamb, and the jam, and giving we the belly, giving we the part to throw away, the scraps. They're giving we the scraps, the little $50,000, the little $100,000 to paint a school and fix a little box drain. But all the major contracts have been awarded to contractors outside of Tobago. And this is why we are resolute in our message that the days for that, those days are over. It is time we put Tobago first and Tobago contractors first again, so that we can ensure that the wealth of Tobago circulates right here in Tobago. And as I close, there is one matter that you will see coming in this space very soon, because it is my information that because of the careless and reckless approach of this current central government and this current THA, the cargo star that brings our goods to Tobago has been sold. And therefore, I'm asking the current Chief Secretary at this time, one, whether he's aware of that, or whether, because all of a sudden, and perhaps he will tell us, I don't know, because it seems that we now have a chief secretary that can be renamed chief secretary. I don't know. And I'm asking him, what is the plan? What is the contingency plan to ensure there's a seamless process between when the cabosal leaves and when, how will we be able to get goods? What is the plan? So brothers and sisters, we are in serious times. This election requires Tobagonians to look beyond a simple having a good drink, having a good dance, because you are seeing them looking to fet us. They want to wine and dine us all the way to the polls. But you must remember how they treated you. You must remember how the 500 THA workers they fired. You must remember all the contractors they suffered. You must remember the 1,500 workers that had to lose their jobs because they failed to give the contracts to Tobago contractors. And what you have on offer, brothers and sisters, are 15 committed, dedicated Tobagonians who have answered the call to put Tobago first again. And therefore, I am asking you to join the vision of Mr. Ansel Dennis and this team in bringing to you a bold new vision to transform Tobago, to ensure Tobago people prosper. And when we do this, vote for Sterling Timothy here in Bethel, New Grange, Ansel Dennis in Bukumong Pleasant, and vote for your PNM candidates on January the 12th, wherever they are located. We will all sing in one united voice. Great is our God, great is Tobago, great is the People's National Movement, and we have
PNM.
I've known you as a friend, and I have lived in the goodness of God. Cause all my life you have been faithful. Oh yes you have. All my life you have been so good. With every breath that I am able, oh I will sing of the goodness of God.
PNM.
Somebody say more fire.
PNM.
I didn't hear you. More fire. Make some noise for brother Kelvin Morris. My friends, facts after facts after facts after fact. This is the PNM putting Tobago first again. You know, in this PNM platform, we have some heavyweights. And my friends, we're getting ready for another heavyweight. Are you ready? We're ready now. Are you ready? It's Bethel in the house. It's Mount Pleasant in the house. It's Tusaland in the house. I can't hear you. Somebody say more fire. Somebody more fire. I say come in, man, come in. Are you ready? You ready for heavyweight in the house? You ready for a stand-up bearer for Bethel, New Grange? The man say, if we're not satisfied with your 4 years, then what? Ride out. I want to introduce to you a man from Sesame Street, a man from Bethel, a man from the ground, a roots man. Somebody say, more fire. You ready? Are you ready? We ready now. Somebody say, we ready now. We ready now. Bring on, bring on, bring on. Brother, still on, Timothy.
We're ready. We're ready. Yeah, we're ready. PNM. Ready. Look how the sun now raising up, and the cloud now waking up. The atmosphere have vibes, and nothing can break it up. The girl them a wine non-stop. We are the drinks them in a my cup. We gonna party all night. 24 parties we hit in a row. Tonight are the very last show. before we are not on the road.
Switzerland, good evening. Bethel people, good evening. Mount Pleasant people, good evening. Bethel people, good evening. Red Army. Red Army. Red Army. Good evening. Let me recognize the political leader for the Tobago Council, Mr. 𝐾𝐚𝐽, Chairman, Mr. Larry Paul, and all other recognized PNM councillors, members of Assembly, 15 candidates, my colleagues in battle and war, Bethel New Grange, good evening. It is with great pleasure and gratitude that I am present myself to you tonight. My name is Sterling Timothy, better known to you as the Big Dog. Son of the soil, born, raised, and nurtured in the streets of Bethel, Sesame Street to be exact. Humbled by this opportunity given to me to serve the people of Bethel New Grange for the next 4 years as your area representative.
PNM.
You might ask yourself the question, why should we vote or put our trust in this Timothy boy to represent us? Well, tonight, I will assure you why I am the best choice, and also why the PNM, under the leadership of our next Chief Secretary, Mr. Ansel K. Dennis, is our only way forward to a better future. Not forgetting the immaculate team that we are. 15 of us ready to serve, ready to create opportunities, ready to make a difference. A vote for Sterling is a vote for trust. A vote for Sterling is a vote for integrity. Being a youth on these streets, night after night, day after day, I understand the cry of the ground. And I must say to everyone in the hearing of my voice tonight, your voice from the streets will be heard. Together, we will develop Bethel New Grange and make it a heaven on earth.
PNM.
Young mothers, we care about you. Unemployed, we care about you. Farmers, we care about you. Barbers, hairdressers, the PNM cares about you. To our lovely senior citizens, the blessings of having you around is priceless. Your health care is priceless, and we need to cherish you. Regular checkups, senior citizens recreational outings will be back on stream under my leadership.
PNM.
Bethel New Grange is a unique constituency, loaded with talent and people so skilled that we can change the future for the better. A skill bank foundation will be formed with tradesmen of this area, put in place to help ease the stress and the living conditions some face in and around the electoral district. Let's come together, pool our resources, our skills, and make our living conditions better for our future children to benefit. Fasten your seatbelts. Fasten your seatbelts. Don't miss this first-class flight to a better tomorrow. Bethel New Grange, let's get back to higher production, better local tourism, and a better economy for Bethel New Grange. Let's grow what we eat, boost agriculture, assist farmers with access roads and equipment. In this electoral district, while walking and reasoning with the people around, we currently have living examples of farmers who have been made promises and still up to this day wasn't able to benefit from agricultural land, equipment, and marketing. On the point of marketing, educating farmers and entrepreneurs in social media marketing will boost sales for small businesses within our district. We will even look into subsidizing and making feed more reasonable for our farmers to access. Open market days will be introduced, whereby people within the district will have the opportunity to come out with produce and have them sold to Tobagonians and household retailers. For those who are fed up of elections and don't feel like you can trust a political party or a representative ever again, I encourage you, give it one more try.
PNM.
Join the movement. Put your ex next to Sterling and Timothy and the PNM for a better future.
PNM.
Let's work together. One hand can't clap. We are better and stronger once we join as one body. Promises is not the way forward. Action is. Filling you up with hope is also not the way forward. Keeping my word is. As the saying goes, fortune favors the brave. Many are called, but few are chosen. I was called, and by God's grace, I will be chosen, and we will make a difference.
PNM.
Encourage all families, friends, well-wishers, and loved ones to go out and vote, especially in this time of uncertainty. We need to take Tobago business into our hands for our betterment, so that we can uplift our standard of living by prioritizing community development, better healthcare, improved education, upgraded sporting facilities, youth advancement, cultural training in drumology and folk dance, just to name a few. Let's talk about Montgomery Field. I want you to open your mind and envision a state-of-the-art sporting facility equipped with a digital scoreboard, a pavilion, a grass bandstand, and vending hubs. Can you believe that? Envision it. With a facility like this, we can expand on sport tourism, which will allow us to host sporting events and tournaments within our electoral district. This is one of my main initiatives for the area of that area. Tonight, my dear friends, I come to you humble, ready to work, and more importantly, ready to learn. Don't be fooled. Take some time and think. Look at what's going on around us. We need to get serious. I might be young in age, but I understand the call. Tonight, I want you to feel the importance of the power given to you because of democracy. It is given to you every 4 years to make a decision on who your leader should be and understand that that choice is yours. Make me, Sterling Timothy, your ear representative. Make the PNM the government for Tobago. Sosolans, you may feel forgotten sometimes, but you're not. We will enhance your living area, better roads, cleaner environment. We will light and beautify parks with more benches, install washing rooms, provide areas for you to enjoy fun evenings with your family, even for those who want to take a little wedding photos or a little birthday photo shoot. We're going to make the place nice because that's PNM style. Bethel New Grange, you deserve better. Say it with me. We deserve better. Again, we deserve better. Better representation, more opportunities for young entrepreneurs, and more comfortable living conditions for residents. Together, we are stronger. Communication with you, the people of this district, is very critical in the future of this area and by extension, this beautiful island. Now, I want to talk to the young people of this district. And this is from the heart. Young people, value yourself. Mount Pleasant youth men, Bethel youth men, Bethany youth men, Tobago youth men on the live, and females, value yourself. It's not just about providing jobs. We also are on a journey to train and reset the mindset of the youths. In doing this, we will develop programs such as youth counseling, skill training, and enhancement programs which would allow you to find your identity. And I want you to understand that you are worth something. When we take a moment to truly look around our society, we can see the growing need to uplift and support our men. Strong men play a vital role in building balanced families, resilient communities, and thriving society. When men are empowered, guided, and given opportunities to grow, the ripple effect is powerful and far-reaching. Together, through empowerment and intentional support, we can rebuild strong foundations and inspire a generation that believes in growth, responsibility, and unity. So, Bethel New Grange, we got this. I want you to rise early, get your families, clear security, stamp your boarding pass to a better tomorrow. This PNM, it's a new wave. It's a new season. It's a new look. We're different, or the scene that we're different. We cut from all different kind of cloth. We deal with from all different backgrounds. But when we come together, we're powerful. We're very powerful. New season. All right, yes, we're going to deal with agriculture. We are back better and stronger than before. Believe it. Believe it. I could close this. I could close this. I want you to believe this tonight in Bethany. Believe that we are new. The PNM is ready and willing to do different. We have a platform that no other party could stand on. None. We are standing on a platform that no other political organization could stand on. We have a track record of producing. We have a track record of representing and seeing the future and betterment for our people. With this being said, I want Tobagonians to herd together. Support your candidates. Walk with them. Call their phone. Give them a little encouragement, because we knew we might make little mistakes. We might do little different things on the road, because you know we little like me, so I little rough on the edges. But you know, again there, and I'm functioning thanks to the support system.
PNM.
The 12th of January is our chance to stamp our claim. Stamp our claim stand up for what we want to stand up for. There's a lot more ideas. There's a lot more things we could do. But on the 12th, we have to make that statement. That is the important statement. We could have big rallies. We could have lots of jerseys, flags. But on the 12th, my dear friends, get up and go and vote. 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 Vote them out. Vote them out of office. And don't feel like come here tonight to send me a statement. You know. Let it ride out. Because this serious time and the PNM business. And on the night of the 12th, when we win and we start to celebrate, we're going to tell them great is our people. Great is our organization. Great is our God. And we shall and must prevail. I thank
Even more, we faced the storm, we took the test, now we're coming back with our very best. We built the schools, the roads, the ground, in every village progress found. We learned, we grew, we took a stand, now we're moving with a brand new plan. Put Tobago first again, let progress start again. From Roxborough to Scarborough, we're building back our tomorrow. From Bell Garden to one accord, hope restored in one accord. And your mandate a stronger hand, putting Tobago first again.
Tell them, right out. I didn't hear you. Tell them, right out. Somebody say, more fire. More fire. I can't hear you. Listen, we have one more speaker. Rafi, I want some help. Quincy, join me on stage. We have one more. Take over.
PNM people. I see all you could do better than PNM people. All the big dog now back. Who ain't afraid? Afraid now. I don't know if it's something with them Bethel people because I see Miss Shamfa Kojo here tonight. Miss Shamfa Kojo, Lewis, you put your hands together for as well.
You dig.
Still and say he little rough out around the edges, but he here to represent. And he put down the challenge, he laid down the gauntlet. He ready to serve, he ready to work. Put Sterling to the test. Bethel New Grange on January the 12th. We have one good option and many other options that we know not good. One road that leads to a path of prosperity and the rest are roads that are dead ends. The road to Sterling Timothy is the path that we have to take. And you know, someone reminded me as I went into the crowd, they said, "Kwesi, you talk about all kind of thing. You mentioned people suffering, but you didn't mention that they have some people who can't afford a Christmas again." He said, you didn't mention that there are some people who have bust their throat and they can't pay a loan. She said, you didn't mention that the court ruled in favor of the people that they sent home, but they're so wicked. They want to delay the payment. They sent it in the appeal court. You say you didn't talk about all the people that can't afford to pay their loans and courts come and take back the fridge and take back their stove. They can't see about their family. We need to talk about that. Tobago people suffering while it's ham, lamb, and jam, while they're whining low, while they're waving the blue flag, while they're talking about the anchor holding. People are suffering. The anchor holding me back. But on January the 12th, we have a job to do. And you see, your Eric Williams said something. See, anytime you see a PNM out here by talking the party, ask them what they did not get. There are some people, like they have a silver mine in the TPP. It's only pieces of silver they're selling out for. Like there are plenty silver to go around. They're running and they're lining up. But I can tell you, they can't stop a man on a mission. And I'm telling you that one good term deserves another. And I want to tell you that when it comes to vision, when it comes to leadership, the PNM comes second to none. And on January 12th, there is only one person who can lead the island of Tobago out of the doldrums that we have been for the last 4 years. There's only one person that can rescue the people who are suffering for the last 4 years. There's only one person who can save the jobs of people in URP and CPEP. There's only one person who has a true vision for the development of Tobago. There's only one person who can stand up and say, take that radar and put it between you. And on January 12th, people of Bukum Mount Pleasant, people in Bethany, Susurlands, I want you to help me to welcome the man with a plan. I want you to help me to welcome the man who served and is ready to serve. I want you to help me to welcome the man who was born ready. The real ripper, Mr. Ansel K. Dennis.
Ansel 𝐾𝐚𝐽.
PNM.
Only selection time for march out, roll out. People that want to know.
Come in with the flag.
PNM.
Come in with the flags.
March out, Ansel, march out. You not go take no talk, we not go talk. Them song they start. When me say them song they start. So vote PNM today. Ansel not go play games, no time.
All over on this side, if you have a flag,
fight to YTP, still a try. Fight.
If you have no flag, wave your hands.
In the talk, him a go fix every road for wow. From Kodla Hall, right back to Mason Hall. Ask Gracie about it. Him nasty. Now feel PNM comfy catch kicks. For 4 years, them get dark and them waste it. So me just a sing back to basics. What PNM today? Hansel na go play a game, no time. Him ready up enough, ready fight. So YTP still a try. Fight. PNM, vote PNM.
If you're voting PNM, say yeah, yeah.
PNM, vote PNM, PNM, vote for PNM. March out, Ansel, march out, you the people, them want them, not go take no talk when at the party. Them song they start, and me say them song they start, so vote PNM today. Ansel, not go play games, no time. Him ready up enough, fight, so YTP still a try, fight. Ansel not in the talk, him a go fix every road for walk. From Kodla Hall, right back to Mason Hall. Ask Gracie about it. Him nasty. No feel PNM comfy catch kicks. For 4 years, them get dark and them waste it. So me just a sing back to basic. PNM, vote PNM, vote for PNM, vote PNM. Hansel na go play games, no time. Remember the 12th of January.
We did not come to play. Good evening, PNM people. Good evening, people of Mount Pleasant, Susurlands, Bethel, and wherever you came from to join us this evening for yet another powerful, factual, educational, and informative PNM platform. And I will not hold you very long this evening, but I have a couple things that I want to talk about, because I want to start by, of course, recognizing the chairman of the Tobago Council,
our minority leader, Mr. Kelvin Morris, our distinguished candidate for Bethel, New Grange, the big dog himself, all other candidates here this evening as part of the team that must and will rescue you, the people of Tobago, come January the 12th. Ladies and gentlemen, these are indeed serious, serious times. Because when we look at the current circumstances and when we evaluate carefully what is happening on our island, then we ought to be very concerned as Tobagonians. And it is my intent that when I come on this platform to share with you how we in the PNM intend to improve your quality of life and how we intend to manage Tobago and your affairs going forward, and how we intend to improve the Tobago economy, the tourism sector, the agriculture sector, how we intend to pursue new opportunities in other untapped sectors such as clean renewable energy, etc. But before I talk a bit about that, I want to tell you about something that is troubling me big time. Because we have a chief secretary who we have to now call Mr. Don't Know. Because within recent times, the chief secretary doesn't seem to know anything at all. The first thing he did not know was the fact that a radar was being installed right here on our island at our international airport. And I want to say to the people of Tobago and to the country by extension that the radar is not a civilian asset. The radar is not part of the national security apparatus of Trinidad and Tobago. The radar is in fact a military asset to serve military purposes. So the chief secretary claimed that he did not know that a radar was being installed. Then, of course, before that, we had the roar of a massive plane, a roar that we never heard before. And people living in the vicinity of the airport and even in other parts of Tobago were awoken from their sleep. And then when the chief secretary was asked about the presence of a military aircraft in Tobago, he claimed again that he did not know. And then recently, we saw in the news that the two airports in this country, the Piarco International Airport and the A&R Robinson International Airport right here in Tobago, were given away for the purpose of military activities. And when asked again, the chief secretary said that he did not know. In fact, he said he found out by a press release. And then lo and behold, today, I got a call from the media that the cargo vessel that this country, especially we the people in Tobago, are so reliant on, has been sold right under our noses. And we have heard absolutely nothing about a replacement vessel. And I am sure that the chief secretary will once again tell you, the people of Tobago, that he did not know. Now, I want to take your minds back to the Farley that we knew before. When it was the PNM in government, I am sure you remember that the Tobago-born Prime Minister, the former Prime Minister, could not even visit the quarry.
he could not even open his mouth to speak on Tobago's affairs. You remember when the Chief Secretary told him to mind his business? Could not, but such our chief become a mumu. Some might want to say a muk. Some may want to say a kunomono. But, and I'm saying to you, the people of Tobago, no matter the circumstances, and it is clear to all of us, not only due to his recent behavior, but when we
PNM.
And therefore, when you come to these meetings, team that believes you must dance a yard before you dance of the people of Tobago to remain in politics over the last 4 years, to get to the point now of vying to be the next Chief Secretary of the Tobago House of Assembly. And I can say to you that I have no master in Trinidad. I am not bought out by anybody. I have not sold out to anybody. In fact, I am only sold out to Almighty God. And therefore, when you elect the next PNM administration into the Tobago House of Assembly, you can bet your bottom dollar that every decision that we will make will be based on improving your quality of life and protecting the interests of all Tobagonians. And therefore, I want to talk a bit about the Tobago economy, the status of it now, and how we will set about to fix it and improve it. Because over the last 4 years, the Tobago economy has been destroyed. And every single business person, from the bar owners, to the clothing store owners, to the supermarkets, to the contractors, to the fishermen, and even the man selling weed will tell you that this economy has declined significantly to the extent that sales and profits in every business in Tobago has declined significantly. And those are the facts. And in order for us to address it, and in order for you, the people of Tobago, to make the right choice and to put people in office who will address it, you have to come to an understanding and an acceptance of the cause of the problem in the first place. Because in Tobago, we have a Tobago House of Assembly. And the Tobago House of Assembly is allocated money on a yearly basis, which normally works out to somewhere around 4.3% of the national budget. And I can tell you that in times past, previous PNM administrations got far less resources than what this THA administration got. In fact, if you were to compare the PNM's last term in office to this term under the TPP got $13 billion, and the last PNM administration got $11 billion. Actually, it was $9 billion after double check, somewhere between there. And the reality is that this administration, even with a PNM central government, got more money than any previous PNM administration. And you must ask the question whether you, the people of Tobago, got value for that money. And I want to give you all an assignment. Tomorrow morning, get up, jump in your car. If you don't have a car, call somebody to pick you up. And I want you to go to Crown Point and drive from Crown Point to Charlottesville and come around to Roxborough, Castara. Pay attention to the roads. Pay attention to anything that you can identify as development and ask yourself this question: what did the TPP do with $13 billion, over the last 4 years? And the answer to the question, if you were to be very honest with ourselves, is that the only major thing that you can identify that was done with $13 billion is one half a road that's already breaking up and a crooked roundabout that does not even have pedestrian crossing for you, the people of Tobago. So that is how $13 billion was spent. Now, I want to tell you that under my leadership of the next PNM administration, we are prepared to transform this place, to transform this island with even less money than what the last administration got. And I'm saying to you that even if, God forbid, we were to get $8 billion for that entire period, which is $2 billion per year. And I want to say to you, the people of Tobago, that that is possible. Because the rate we are going now, where our government is facilitating foreign countries in causing havoc and chaos within our region, chances are that not only our economy, but the regional economy will be depressed significantly going forward. Because in this country and in this region, whether you go to Barbados, St. Lucia, Grenada, or wherever, we depend heavily on tourism. And tourists not coming anywhere where the airport is militarized and where you have warships in the beautiful Caribbean seas. And in addition to that, I want to warn you all, especially those who are supporting Mrs. Kamla Persad Bissessa and her foolishness talking about war on drugs. This war is not about any drugs. And for those of you who are supporting that and not supporting the solid position of CARICOM, which is that this region must remain a zone of peace, here are the implications of that. You all know that almost everything we consume in this country is imported, right? You all know that most of the food that you eat, that you purchase in the supermarket, is imported, right? All of you who like to go online and shop for clothes and shop for sneakers and anything that you purchase abroad, you know it doesn't just appear here, it has to be imported, right? And I want to tell you that in circumstances of war in this region, one of two things will happen. It is either that the price of importation will increase. In fact, that is a guarantee. But in addition to that, depending on the situation, you may even have circumstances existing where we will not be able to get a predictable amount of supply, whether it be food, clothing, medications, etc., coming to this country. And those are the implications of volatility in this region. And I want you to go and research, because a lot of people think that this is a game. Go and do the research. Check out the Middle East. Check out Ukraine. Check out Syria and these areas. Go and get an understanding of the consequences of war and the consequences of military buildup in what is supposed to be a peaceful region. So I'm saying that depending on what transpires over the next few months, difficult days are ahead for this country and for the people of Tobago. But difficult days or not, I am saying to you that the next PNM administration, we can in fact run Tobago and manage your affairs with $8 billion if it comes down to that, because I work out the maths. And I can tell you that with a development spend of $500 million per year, we will transform the economy of Tobago, bringing jobs, bringing opportunities for young people, and ensuring that the businesses in Tobago can begin to thrive again. Now, of course, I've been saying on this platform that we have a plan, and I want you all to listen to this now, that we have a plan, 1,000 jobs over a particular period. And of course, those on the other side are asking us, how do 7,000 jobs? And I want to say, firstly, that they have no moral authority, that they have no moral authority to ask us in Tobago, and a critical sector on this island. And I was chatting with some young men not too long ago, right by this corner. Work, make the $500 or $400 a day, decide you're not going back the next day, and then the following day go on a totally different project site and get another work. Ask them now. Some of them here, ask them now. When last they had the opportunity to be employed in a project driven by the Tobago House of Assembly through a Tobago contractor? And some of them saying 4 years ago. Because the fact remains that when you take Tobago people's money and you shift it down to Trinidad into the pockets of contractors and financiers from that island, they do not come here and hire Tobago people. In fact, if you remember clearly, for those of you who drove past that roundabout project and that road project while it was under construction, I am sure you would have seen that most of the persons employed at that project were from outside of Tobago, and that is the reality. So when you vote for the PNM on the 12th of January, I am giving you the assurance that by the 13th, the 14th, or the 15th, or whenever an executive council is in place under the PNM, we will take a policy decision to immediately cease and desist from awarding contracts from the THA to companies from Trinidad in circumstances where the project can be done by Tobagonians. In addition to that, I want to tell you about the community-based infrastructural development program, because of course that is a program, it's not new. It was started under the last PNM administration, and Kwesi Devines will tell you, because he was the Secretary of Infrastructure at the time, he will tell you that an executive council decision was made to identify at least $25 million, have the engineers in the Division of Works go to every single community and identify some of the issues in those communities. And of course, we were able to come up with a pool of several projects ranging from between, I think it was $150,000 up to $400,000, $500,000 per project. And we got the young upcoming contractors, those new contractors with very little experience, to sign up under that project, to register under that project, and to receive the necessary guidance. And when they sign up, all of them were awarded projects within their communities. And we had a situation where if a project was being done in Mount Pleasant or Bethel or Canby, then it was always a small contractor from within that region that got the opportunity to do that project. And I'm saying to you, the people of Mount Pleasant tonight, that under the next PNM administration, not only will that program return, but we intend to double the spend from $25 million to $50 million per year on that program. And one of the other benefits of that program is that it creates employment opportunities for young people within the community. Because if a contractor from Mount Pleasant gets a contract to execute a drain behind the lady house down the road that needs to be fixed, that contractor, of course, isn't going to go to Trinidad, down south, or Siparia, or Chaguanas, or Curep, to hire people from there to come to Tobago to do the project. He's going to find skilled persons right in his community to hire them and give them opportunities to work on those projects. And I'm saying to you as well that it presents an opportunity for young upcoming contractors to grow and develop themselves. Because of course in Tobago we have a number of large contractors, or used to have a number of large contractors. But now of course, all of them have been destroyed, facing foreclosure from the bank, bank taking away the equipment, no payments, no projects for the last 4 years. But those large contractors did not start big. They started off as small contractors who had to work hard and develop themselves and execute projects effectively whenever they got the opportunity, to ensure that they developed a good track record and a good relationship with the Tobago House of Assembly. And I'm saying that that program will of course be like a nursery, so that we can build that capacity of Tobago construction sector businesses as we go forward. And therefore it is stark contrast to what this administration did, because the PNM spent 21 years in office, moving away from a situation where every infrastructure project prior to 2001, from road paving to building of walls to building any major building, was done by contractors from outside of Tobago. We spent 21 years building capacity, training people in the construction sector, developing a skilled workforce, providing vocational skills training to young Tobagonians who developed themselves, who became skilled tradesmen, who became electricians, who became plumbers. We spent 21 years developing that capacity, only for one man from Speyside, with the support of others who consider themselves Tobagonians, to come and destroy all of that in 4 years. But of course, elections have consequences. But the good thing is that every 4 years you have an opportunity to change your mind. Because the reality is that this administration came into office with the support of some of you PNM people, because they could not win the election with only support from their people. And therefore some PNM people voted for them, and some of the swing voters, as we call them, voted for them. And that is quite understandable, because of course after 21 years, many of you felt the need for a change, time for a change. But I am sure you recognize after 4 years that not all change is good change. And I'm saying to you that since you had a change in 2021, nothing is wrong with having a change again in 2026. In fact, I'm saying to you that you need a change. So of course, as part of our vision, you will see that we plan to implement several major construction projects on this island. And I will name some of them. And I will start with those that we started prior to the last THA election that this administration refused to complete. The Bethel Sinclair Indoor Sporting Facility. Every time you drive up to the stadium, if you're heading to the east side, on your left, you will see a steel frame building just left there rotting away. That is your Bacolet Indoor Sporting Facility, started by the PNM. And I'm saying because we started it and because it has been abandoned by this administration, when you put us back into office, we are going to ensure that within 6 months' time, we will start that project and deliver that indoor sporting facility to our sportsmen and sportswomen in Tobago. Of course, we're going to also ensure that we complete the Goodwood Pavilion. We're going to ensure that we complete the Turpin Bend realignment. We're going to ensure that we complete the Charlottesville Community Center. And in addition to those projects, we are coming with a bold new vision for the development of Tobago. And therefore, on our agenda, there are major projects such as a international cricket stadium, a motor sports facility, a cruise ship village in Scarborough, a waterfront center in Scarborough, a government campus in Scarborough, a parkade in Scarborough, multi-level parkade in Scarborough. We are going to engage in a beautification trust across the island, creating a number of green social spaces for you, the people of Tobago, to enjoy, and of course for our visitors when they come here. And therefore, through those arrangements, we intend to spend in 4 years' time over $3 billion developing those projects. Of course, some of it will come from the THA's resources, but as I told you in Black Rock last evening, we will pursue investment from outside of Tobago, outside of the country, and even within the country to ensure that we can engage in public-private partnership arrangements to develop some of those projects. But the reality is that when we spend that kind of money in Tobago and we implement our Tobago First policy, it means that that money will circulate in Tobago. It will go into the pockets and bank accounts of our contractors from Tobago. It will go into the pockets and bank accounts of our skilled tradesmen in Tobago. And of course, they're going to spend the money right here in Tobago. And I'm saying through that arrangement alone, we will return the 2,000 jobs that were lost in the construction sector. And we are going to create additional opportunities for approximately 1,000 other persons through those arrangements. And I want you to imagine a situation where in Tobago you have a serious administration led by Ansel Dennis as the Chief Secretary. And we are able to go out there, not to flams, not to look cute, and post on Instagram for likes and follows. But we go out there with your money to meet with serious people and serious investors with proposals telling them that we in Tobago, as leaders of Tobago, want to build a cruise ship village and we want you to come on board with us. Those are the kinds of discussions we are going to have on your behalf. And of course, the hotels. We had an opportunity a couple years ago to have Sandals Resort come here. That resort by itself alone, would have created approximately 2,000 jobs. But the people who run the hotel, in fact, one fella told them to take the hotel and put it on Carrera. The current Chief Secretary was extremely vocal. The same guy who is now silent about a radar was very noisy when we had something that was going to develop us and give us opportunities. But the radar that is planted here to kill you and to put a target on your back and to destroy our tourism sector, because visitors canceling the bookings in hotels, in Airbnbs. And I could tell you as an Airbnb owner myself, all of my bookings that I had for the month of December, January, February, and up to March have been canceled. And when you ask the hoteliers, they will tell you the same thing. So radar to destroy us, radar to put a target on the backs of you, the people of Tobago, and the Chief Secretary is silent. But Sandals to bring 2,000 jobs and to bring opportunities for our farmers and our creatives. He wasn't Chief Secretary then, and he had all the mouth in the world and assisted in destroying the chance of that project happening in Tobago. And therefore, if one hotel of that magnitude could bring 2,000 jobs by itself, then what I'm saying to you about 7,000 jobs in 4 years is absolutely possible and absolutely doable and will be done when you put the next PNM administration into office come January 12th. So as I close, I want to challenge the young people, because in other countries that benefited from similar developments, the people fail to prepare themselves. For example, Sandals in St. Vincent, based on my latest information, they purchase fish from outside of St. Vincent. And in some cases, I understand as well that they import vegetables from outside of St. Vincent. And that is because the people did not put themselves in a position to benefit from those opportunities. And therefore, I am putting you, the people of Tobago, on notice, because opportunities don't just fall into your lap. And of course, as a responsible administration, we will take particular decisions. I've told you about the Farmland Development Program. That is not a program by chance. That is because we have a plan to develop our tourism sector. And we know that when we develop the tourism sector, and when we bring 1, 2, or 3 hotels and a marina that will cause additional visitors to come to this island, somebody has to feed them. And there must not be a situation under our watch. In fact, there will not be a situation under our watch where we have major hotels here and a booming tourism sector in Tobago, but we waiting on the boat to bring up lettuce and tomatoes and pimentos and watermelon to feed our guests in Tobago. That must not happen, and it will not happen. So when we talk about the Farmland Development Program, and when we talk about pursuing investments to bring to this island, to develop this island, and when we talk about taking on policies that will ensure that opportunities return to Tobago contractors and Tobago businesses, it is part of an overall plan to ensure that we develop an economy in Tobago that will bring wealth and opportunities to the people of Tobago. So I'm saying to you as I close, that notwithstanding all that is happening around us, all this scary stuff, all the irresponsible behaviors of people in office now, I still see a bright future under the People's National Movement. Because I'm saying to you that one of the benefits of voting for the PNM, not apart from all the plans that I just mentioned and the job opportunities and the economic opportunities, one of the major reasons for voting for the PNM is that you will have a chief secretary who is not compromised, who is not bought out, or who has not sold out to anybody. And therefore, when it comes to Tobago people and their business, I will speak out on your behalf, and I will... Let me be careful. Now, the final thing I will say, because you have a lot of people on the blue side who are saying that there is nothing that can be done about the radar situation, and that somehow we have to sit down in Tobago and take it. I want to say to you, the people of Tobago, that we do not have to take it. Because in fact, they went to Grenada with it, and the people of Grenada told them, we don't want any radar here. And I am sure, I am absolutely sure, that had this compromised chief secretary open his mouth and say to the Prime Minister that we do not want any radar here, he would have gotten my support. He would have gotten the support of every political leader on this island. He would have gotten the support of the business community. He would have gotten the support from those who ball in that blue is the code. He would have gotten the support from almost every single Tobagonian to say resoundingly to Mrs. Kamla Prasad Bisesa and her friends in those distant countries to take their radar and go. But of course, we had silence. And I'm saying to you, the people of Tobago, that when it comes to this dangerous development, because it has gone from a plane passing and waking up people from the bed to a radar being installed. And now, no, it's not just plane landing, you know. It's planes having the authority to utilize our airport in Tobago as a military base. That is what it is. Our civilian airport built for civilian use is now being made available to a foreign country for military activities. That is what it is. And I'm saying to you that we, the people of Tobago, must not take that lightly. And I'm saying when you vote on January the 12th and you go down to Bethel, New Grange, by the Montgomery Community Center, or wherever your polling station is, and you vote resoundingly for Still and Timothy, and you vote resoundingly for all our candidates across the 15 electoral district, and you see that the PNM has won the election, I am saying to you to prepare to join me as your chief secretary to send a signal to the UNC government and their friends from whichever part of the world they are, that we are not tolerating that disrespect and that we don't want any radar here and we don't even want to talk about it. And when you would have done that, and you would have achieved the objective of saving Tobago and saving our tourism sector and saving our economy and making our people safe once again in peaceful Tobago, only then can we say great is the PNM, great is our island, great is our God, and we have prevailed.
Putting Tobago first again. From Tobago rising even more. We faced the storm, we took the test. Now we're coming back with our very best. We built the schools, the roads, the ground. In every village, progress found. We learned, we grew, we took a stand. Now we're moving with a brand new plan. Put Tobago first again. Let progress start again. From Roxborough to Scarborough, we're building back our tomorrow. From Bell Garden to Banaccord, hope restored in one accord. And your mandates a stronger hand, putting Tobago first again. 10,000 jobs, a future bright. Homes for families, a better life. We kept the faith through every fight. Now the vision shining light. Hospitals standing proud and tall. Community centers for one and all. From fishing bays to farmers' hands, we gave new hope across the land. We're moving forward, not looking.
When them a bring to the table, if I talk alone, we not able. Every day I go wrong, I tell fable. Them a dead ass in a race, they not able. When them a bring to the table, a fire start and them not stable. Nothing a worse is to take over. Tobago anchored in a cycle game over. December 6 people live for this avenue, but they never know them a send a death sentence. Put in meeting, but I'm saying they will fix this and every target them a whisper.
Thank you.
PNM.
Thank you very much. Brother Dennis, my duty now is to thank all of you for coming this evening, reminding you tomorrow, Wednesday, we're in Goodwood, James Street Junction. Thursday, Bob Supermarket, Patience Hill. Friday, let's get to Providence Road Junction. And on Saturday, Lambo by the Live Wire Bar. I want to thank the police. I want to thank all of you. Thank our sound system providers. Thank Mr. Tone and his team. Thank our cameramen. And thank all of you for coming out this evening. Remember, Tobago deserves better. Let us put Tobago first. Again, vote wisely. Vote solidly for the People's National Movement come January 12th. Get home safely. Great is the People's National Movement. And thank you. Thank you, DJ.
Now them a come and attack, but I turn them again. Them destroy the assembly. When them a bring to the table, if I talk alone, we not able. Every day I go wrong, I tell fable. Them a dead ass in a race, they not able.